Hi, I'm Jan Willis from the eBeam Initiative, and welcome to the autumn edition of the Fine Line Video Journal. With me today is Brian Grenon, one of the luminaries in the eBeam industry and a member of the eBeam Initiative. He started his work in eBeam in 1978 at IBM. Fast forward today, and he's working in the mass repair segment. Welcome, Brian.
It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
One of the things that I know that you've done in the past to contribute to the industry is your work on the annual mass survey. And we're really honored that you contributed to this year's survey through the eBeam Initiative. So I'm going to come back and ask you for some insights about the results in a minute. But first, I want to set the context for our viewers. We had 10 mask makers participate, and they represented a combination of merchant and captive mask houses. Now, the survey came back and said that they shipped over 212,000 masks from the period of July 2015 through June 2016. Approximately 70% of the masks were at the 90 nanometer or greater technology node. Now, the survey covers a number of attributes important to the mask industry, from write times to turnaround times and data volume. For the full survey, we encourage you to go online and get it at www.ebeam.org. So with that, I'd like to start and ask you, what really surprised you about the results and why?
Actually, three things surprised me about the results. One was the significant increase in data volume, the substantial increase in average write time, and the cycle time increase, particularly with the 7 nanometer technology node where some of the cycle times were in excess of 20 days.
So that's a great question to follow up on, with the turnaround time in the survey showing that as it approached the advanced nodes, it would be about 10 days, and you've pointed out some were even longer. What do you think the repercussions are for the industry?
I don't think for 10 days it will have a real significant impact on the industry. However, the long cycle times of 20 plus days will have a significant impact. And I think if you look at what contributes to cycle time is the pattern generation times, and you saw that some of them were in excess of 48 hours. The inspection times are also substantial, and the repair times can be substantial. Where I think you may see the the cycle times decreasing in the next year or two is with the introduction of the multi-beam eBeam pattern generators will contribute significantly to reducing the cycle time. Particularly today, if you attended one of the papers at the conference, it showed that the multi-beam eBeam system averages less than 10 hours for pattern generation. So I think that's going to have a tremendous contribution to reducing cycle times.
That sounds like really good news. You mentioned mask repairs, and I know that this is an area that you're focused on, and we had some questions in the survey about that. So what was your takeaway specifically about the results on mask repairs?
One of the things that really surprised me is that focused ion beam is still has the preponderance of the number of repairs that they're doing the highest percentage of repairs. With nano machining increasing, there's still a significant amount of repairs being done with lasers and also with eBeam. So I think what you're going to see over the next year or so is the obsolescence of a lot of the focused ion beam. I think as you approach 7 and 11, or 11 and 7 nanometers, you're going to find that focused ion beam as a repair technology will essentially become obsolete. I think you're going to see a resurgence of laser repair, particularly for large defects, and you will see the preponderance of repairs for advanced technologies being done with nano machining as well as some with eBeam technology.
So we've talked a lot about advanced nodes. So I'd like to make the last question about how do you think the Internet of Things might affect the distribution of the mask by technology node in the future?
Okay, I think what you're going to see as the Internet of Things gets more popular, I think you're going to see higher volumes of 350 nanometer, 250 nanometer, and 180 nanometer technology nodes, because the Internet of Things doesn't need the high technology or the fine line width that you find from memory and microprocessors. So I see that you're going to see a higher volume of lower technology masks.
That's great. Thank you. That's all we have time for today. I want to again acknowledge and thank Brian for his contributions to this year's survey.
Again, thank you for having me.
We look forward to seeing you on future editions of the Fine Line Video Journal. Thanks for joining us.